Hello there, this is Cindy at cindybdesigns.com. Thank you for joining me today. These are the three concept art projects that we will be making from, we got a bunch of new online exclusives that's coming out at the beginning of November, and we are going to focus on that today. I've got one suite collection, two bundles, and a stamp sale coming up Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 15% off everything. There's a standalone stamp set and check online exclusives too. So I'm going to go through what I got. I have another box coming in on Tuesday, and I'll probably do a live video, Facebook video on that, or Facebook Live, like I did last week. And I think I have everything squared away as far as the distance and whatnot. So the first thing I want to share with you are the die cuts for the paper pumpkin for October, November, and December. And I think it's Mary tags or something like that. And that's available to you now. So you want to pick them up. That big chunky Mary die, and then that big old fern, and then the frame, fantastic. So this kit here, it just came out, and this is also available to you right now. It's called a look back kit. And you can use this for a scrapbooking journal, a travel journal, something for a teenager, or any kind of wedding, whatever you want to make of it. There's great stickers in there. Very kind of tropical, kind of not, but the colors in this are basic beige, basic black, Lost Lagoon, Old Olive, Petal Pink, and Pretty in Pink. Also, lots of pockets in there and just things that you can decorate up the journal with. If you have a tropical leaf bundle or stamp set from our very first online exclusives release about a year ago, not even a year ago, the big palm tree leaves in that would go perfectly with this. And you get a ton of samples down there at the bottom, right there, that just kind of helps you put everything together, or make it your own. So the first bundle that we have is Cake Celebrations. Has all these fantastic standalone dies that you see me pointing to there. I love the font in this, the scripty font. It's kind of a, I'm going to say for lack of a better term, messy, but it's fun. And we're going to have fun with it. Next up is Happy Hibiscus. Fantastic images there. And again, a mix of print and script for the sentiments. That folder, it's very, very detailed and very embossed, like deeply embossed. More standalone dies in there and great line art too that you can color with. Now, this suite collection is called Marble Elegance. It's the only suite collection we will have for Valentine's Day. There won't be anything in the mini catalog coming up in January. Not a suite collection, but I'm sure there's going to be bundles. So you want to pick this up for the paper if you really want Valentine's Day paper. And I'm sure we'll have something for celebration too. But you get all those dies in there, and it coordinates with everything on top, all those images there. And again, this is a great mix of scripty fonts and print. Then you get these bags too. They are food safe. I'm trying not to sneeze if you hear me hesitate here. They are food safe and they're thick. And we are going to decorate one up, or I'm going to show you how to do it because this video was getting kind of long and it's simple enough. So you get a large size there and a small size. I think the large is like 5¼ by 3½ somewhere around there. And then the smaller one is going to be 3½. But I will have all the measurements and everything like that on the blog for you at cindybdesigns, which a blog post will probably be coming up late today because I'm running out of time. I have a lot of stuff to do. And as I'm going through the paper, I just ran behind, like really ran behind this week for some reason. I don't know why. And I got a concert to go to later on tonight. My girlfriend and I were going to see Foreigner. And that's way over in Kansas, about an hour and a half away from me. But, it'll still be fun. So they call this marble for a reason, which you're seeing all that there. I am not a big fan of marble paper. It'd be great for bags. So that's what I plan on using mine for. And I also have my October Kit Club going on over the blog. And I'm going to throw in these three fun folds too because we are focusing in on, oh, what's that? Christmas labels bundle there. And then the festive, a little bit festive designer series paper, the one with the die cuts and everything like that. So I figured I'll just go ahead and toss that in because I was having a little fun playing with that. So for our first card, we are using Cake Celebrations. And there's a lot of adhering in this project. Towards the very end of this card, I sped things up because I knocked out 2 minutes of basically gluing for the most part. I have a pretty in pink card base, and then I cut down some of that Valentine's Day Designer Series paper to 4¼ by 5½ across, making sure that the top fold of it is pointing towards me so that way if something goes over, I can cut it at the bottom. So I got that adhered down with snail, and then I cut 2 pieces of white cardstock. Those are 2x5s, and I ran it through that beautiful Happy Hibiscus embossing folder. A lot of mixing and matching of products here. And again, these are concept art cards because I ran out of time, like I said earlier. And I'm going to get them adhered down with liquid adhesive as well. And if you look at the top right, there's 3 flowers in that bundle there. They're teeny tiny. So I went ahead and stamped 2 in each size. We have a small, a medium, and a large with pretty in pink. And I went ahead and die cut those out off screen because they are teeny tiny. And I fumbled with them all the way through. So I thought I would save you that because I'm going to fumble up here on the sentiment coming up. So I have a piece of pretty in pink scratch paper, and I took my embossing tool over that, and I'm grabbing the happy birthday sentiment. It's already split up in the stamp set. I'm going to lay that down, get everything lined up there as much as I can, and you'll see where that tape right there kind of gets in my way a little bit, so I have to line everything up again. And we're going to end up heat embossing that sentiment in white, and then I'll cut it down to size. So while I am doing all that stamping and embossing, what's coming on Tuesday is this fantastic modern herringbone folder, and we all know I love that. And again, with these online exclusives, they don't have a quote unquote retirement date. I think just until they're out of stock and something that you can keep on board. And then there's this other bundle called Umbrella Days. That is fantastic. They're line art images, a ton, and I do mean a ton, standalone dies. And I'm looking forward to showing you, what I can do with that. And then something that we've all wanted that's in the catalog, that color wheel, that's going to be available to you as well at the beginning of November, I think November 4th. And then there's another sweet collection in there about otters. I didn't pick it up because my kids are grown and gone. They're in their, late 20s and 30s to late 30s. And it's just, like I said, I don't do cute, but I'm sure that you'll love it. But I did pick up a Lost Lagoon. They had a great cord in there, and I really like, cord and things like that. So I'm cutting that sentiment down. And then the stamp sale, again, 15% off standalone stamp sets in the catalog. I'm not sure if that covers online exclusives or not, but check it out. And I'll do some more research into that for you when I come back on Wednesday at noon for my Facebook Live. So my image panel there, I cut that down to 3x4. And I'm sizing everything up, kind of figuring out where I want to put the cake platter. So I'm popping that image panel back in, and I'm going to pull off that image there, lay it down, center it from left to right, because I already have my top and bottom figured out. And I'm going to stamp that in pecan pie. And while I'm doing all this, everything, measurements, is going to be over on the blog at cindybdesigns.com. I will have a direct link to the blog post in this YouTube description. However, I'm doing this voiceover It's right now like 10:55, and my videos normally go live at noon on Saturday. This one might go up around 1 because I still have to process it and get it uploaded and everything like that. And the measurements, like I said, my time thing this week just did not work out for me at all. They will probably be up tomorrow on Sunday, morning sometime. So I'm pulling the solid images. There's a larger one and a smaller one that you can see on the right from the Cake Celebration stamp set. And the two solid images are going to be put down in pretty in pink. And the complementary images or frosting, I'm going to go ahead and put them down in Flirty Flamingo. And that's also two of the colors that are in the Valentine's Day paper, Cherry Cobbler and Real Red, along with gold that you see in the marbling there. That's also in that designer series paper and a specialty designer series paper. And we name it that when there's other elements in there than paper, like gold or anything like that. So as you can see, everything lines up perfectly. And I'm getting that down in Flirty Flamingo. So while I'm getting this all stamped out and everything like that, check out our kits. They are, what is it, 15 or 30% off this month. So you definitely want to do that and stock up. And also from the Facebook Live, starting, well, for October, I'm having a kit giveaway, one a month on that, and I'll have the details and everything when that happens. You have until the 10th of this month to sign up for Paper Pumpkin. So get yourself a subscription because it's well worth it, and especially with the dies. So now I am bringing in Petal Pink, and I think that's Granny Apple Green. It is. And I'm just stamping a flower off to the right, and I'm going to add some leaves. And I'm looking at that, it's like, this is a little bit too dark. And yeah, laid it down. No, no, no. Stamp it off one time, and I got the color that I want. And I think I'm going to do two large and one small over there. And then over on the left, just two large, just to give it some, flair a little bit. And then after this, I really super speed this up because, like I said, I cut out 2 minutes just gluing everything down, and those other flowers already stamped and die cut out in pretty and pink. And those are going to be adhered down with liquid adhesive, and I'm going to embellish them with, I think these are retired, but they've been sitting out for a little while, so why not use them up? The iridescent foil gems, you can use anything that you want to embellish them with. Maybe even color them with a winged Stella, you know, sprinkle it up a little bit with some glitter. Pretty much just do whatever you want to do to make it yours. So again, like I said, this video is probably going to go up late around 1, which I feel bad about, but for the most part, I don't think, maybe only a few people like tune in immediately, but as time goes by, that's when people watch more. I'm adding Stampin' Dimensionals to the back of our 3x4 image panel there, and I'm going to pop that up. And when I have the sentiment down, you want to double up on the ends of it there, because I already have, or double up on the Stampin' Dimensionals, because I already have a layer, the image panel up on dimensionals, and since I'm putting the sentiment panel on top of that, it has to balance out and measure out. I already cut a piece of white twine. I'm going to pop that on a glue dot and then put the sentiment over that, and I do eventually cut the tails off that. Now I'm distracted because I got emails flying in and my phone's blowing up. I do cut the tails off of our bow there, so everything lines up perfectly. And I think that's when I realized, okay, I need to put something else down, or I did, or I forgot to take the stamped dimensional off of the left-hand side there. It also would have been super cute to pop those flowers down with mini stamped dimensionals as well. I just didn't do it. So now that we have our little centers on, that is what the card looks like. So for this one, I already cut our card base of Pretty Peacock down, and then in a emboss panel, adhered that to the card base and did the sentiment in Pretty and Peacock, and die cut that out with one of the dies in the Happy Hibiscus bundle. And I am going to lay down that large image with Memento Tuxedo Black. Now with this image, it's all one image, but if you look in the stamp set, okay, that's the line art I'm laying down. But if you look over towards the right, the stamp set, those images are, well, you can stamp them one at a time on top of the image, but the die cut will cut all three of them out at the same time. And if you only want to do one flower compared to all three of them, it's easy enough to cut or to die cut them individually as well. Like I am going to do here. And you know what? I don't have it in front of me right now, but I'm pretty sure it does cut everything out individually. Now, what I want to show you about that, I stopped and took it over to my sink and rinsed it out immediately because black is archival ink. And I used StazOn on it, and you can see how clean it got it, how clean the stamp was. So I really encourage you to do that. I mean, if it doesn't bug you having residual on there, it kind of does me a little bit because I'm neurotic like that. So I'm going to lay down the smallest flower in, I believe, well, the card's right in front of me, Coastal Cabana. And then the one over to the left is going to be laid down in Pretty and Pink. And then our large flower is going to be laid down in Pumpkin Pie. So while we're getting our images all stamped out, I did take a look at that die cut real quick that's going to cut those flowers out. It's one die cut, but it will cut the three flowers out individually too. So I'm lining everything up, making sure I get it down, and I'm going to repeat the process for, well, that flower and then the larger one. I'm a huge fan of line art images, and coloring these, watercoloring them, anything you want to do just expands what this bundle can do for you. And I really like the colors of the concept art because you don't see them put together too often, especially with Pretty and Peacock, but I think it turned out great. And again, that fantastic embossing folder, inking that up and then running that through. Just again, more creative opportunities and possibilities, and always a lot of fun that you can really pick apart, decorate up a box. These are larger images, so great for scrapbooking pages as well. And I think that you're going to be seeing that a lot in our lineup in the future. So that is the die cut that I was talking about. I'm going to run that through the Stampin' Cut in a emboss machine real quick. But in the meantime, we have a small leaf and a large leaf too. And I'm going to do that off screen. The leaves, they are going to be, I'm pointing to them right now, in Old Olive. The line art part is going to be in black, and then I'm stamping the leaves off once, so you have one full strength and one half strength of each leaf. And I do end up popping all of these images down on Stampin' Dimensionals. So right now I'm just figuring out where to put the glue to adhere the Pretty and Pink leaf on top of the pumpkin pie one. And I'm going to pull in a little bit of Scotch tape, just to pop it on the back there to keep it all together, just in case, because it's still kind of humid here. I mean, today is going to be 90 degrees in October, which I'm completely fine with. And I'm really glad that there's a breeze too, because the concert I'm going to is outside. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm getting all the Stampin' Dimensionals off the back of those two flowers there. And right now, I'm just going to get everything adhered together and put together as best as I can. The sentiment is going to be put on top with liquid adhesive over to the left, and then a Stampin' Dimensional over on the right, and then that is going to be pretty much it for this card. I do end up embellishing it with 5 of those iridescent foil gems that we did on our first card. Now for this, I am not going to have a supply list because none of it's available to you yet. And the only thing that I brought in pretty much was stamps that aren't available to you, and I'm sorry. Well, ink and paper, that's pretty much it. And I'm naming out the colors there. And like I said earlier, the blog post probably tomorrow because this video is supposed to be live in 40 minutes and I won't make that. So it'll be just a teeny tiny bit late. So I'm going to get all that down there, and then that will be it for this card. As we are finishing up this card, I do invite you to follow me on Facebook at cindybdesigns. Sign up for my newsletter because I'm getting really good about communicating with that. And don't forget the follow. And always, I appreciate it if you like and share my videos or whatever else you want to. And subscribe to my social media. I'm on Instagram. Not too good about Pinterest. I don't do Twitter at all, or X or whatever it's called now. But I'm getting better. I just don't like having a bunch of accounts open. And that's just how I am. So again, to complete this, we are laying down 5 of those dots, and then we're going to move on to the bag there. Now, I didn't do the bag with you because I thought this video was getting a little bit long, but it's easy enough to do. I will have measurements for you. And with a bag, it's kind of something that you have to wing to for the most part because the measurements are a lot, well, they're very wonky on this one here. So what I've done is we're going to use the XO for our sentiment there, and then I die cut that size heart and then the next one down out of our designer series paper, and then stamped our leaves and flower onto basic white with pretty in pink and soft seafoam. I decorated that up with the hearts embellishments that come in the Sweet collection there. I am going to have this ruler or a link to it, and there should be one right now over on the blog. If you go to my search bar and type in ruler, hopefully it'll pop up. So I took a picture of what I measured out, and it's kind of, like I said, kind of wonky, but 3 5/16, but a little teeny tiny bit over that, and then lengthwise it's going to be 3 11/16, just a little teeny tiny bit over that. And you're going to have to take your paper snips and just maybe, get a little bit off the very edge there. And the tissue, that's from a paper pumpkin. So I do thank you for joining me today for these projects, listening to me rattle for almost 24 minutes, completely unprepared and distracted and everything like that. So I hope that you have a great weekend. I will see you again on Wednesday. And if you have any questions about anything, feel free to shoot me off an email.